Hey everyone, thanks for clicking play on the FWL podcast. I'm the commish here. I'm here to talk about some new things we have going on. We have some sponsors for the show. We have the Sleep Number mattress. Them being our sponsors aside, I've had a Sleep Number mattress for years. And if you're going to spend most of your life sleeping on a mattress, you might as well be comfortable and get the rest that you need so you can get out there and take on the day. And right now, if you go to sleepnumber.com and use offer code FWL podcast, they'll give you 10% off and they'll give you a 60-day free trial. And hey, guess what? If you don't like the bed, just call them, free shipping back. Doesn't get any easier than that. And plus, you'd be helping out the show. And furthermore, if you don't go on and get a Sleep Number bed right now, you are all making the list.
Welcome to the most exciting podcast of professional wrestling, featuring all the news, all the backstage stories, and all the stuff that you've been hearing about. So prepare yourself for the FWL podcast. Here are your hosts, Playboy Stevie V, Steve Valencia, and the commish, Gabe Valencia. Let's get this thing rolling.
And we are live here at the FWL Studios. We apologize for us not having a show in a while. We're wrapping up some deals with some big-time sponsors, as you heard before the show. And also we had a little bit of technical difficulties, but that's mostly due to the man that I have sitting across from me.
How's it going? Haven't done this in a little while. Let's get this going. Let's talk about some wrestling.
So this is going to be an extra long podcast because we got a lot to talk about. So it's the gift of the podcast to you. Drink it in, man. Drink it in. So I'm just going to jump straight into something right now, and I just want to talk about how amazing Chris Jericho's been.
Yes, he's been absolutely amazing, man. I love Chris Jericho. Love his list that he has going on now. I love this thing he has going on with Kevin Owens. I laugh every time he puts someone on the list or he refers to him and Kevin Owens as both the Universal Champion.
Well, are they not both? I'm confused. I don't get it.
No, but no, Kevin Owens is just champion. But anyways, no complaints about Jericho. You know what? Jericho's far from his prime, and he's still one of the best things going on Raw right now. His matches and everything.
Before we go any farther, I'd just like to tell you that I am the commish, and over here we have
Playboy Stevie V.
And I'm the commish. So let's move on. He gets to hear me twice. So let's rewind way back because we didn't do a No Mercy podcast, and let's just talk about some of this No Mercy that happened in the Golden One Center that I was actually at. We were sitting front row, whining and dining, sitting right next to Ric Flair. You know, that's how the FWL podcast rolls.
Yep.
So overall show, what do you think?
Oh, it was a pretty good show. I thought that and this is hard for me to say too, because the Miz has been getting really awesome lately. I mean, he has, no pun intended. He's been awesome, but I've been really tired. He was getting stale. But this feud that he had going on with Dolph Ziggler, he was just amazing. And when he chewed out Daniel Bryan during the Talking Smack was amazing. But I thought that the best match of the night, and it seemed to be the one that was most over, was Ziggler and Miz. And the crowd was really into it, and it was a good match and everything. And I mean, if anyone knows me, I'm not a big Ziggler fan. I think he's had a million chances. And
million chances.
And also, just quickly on the Survivor Series, I thought it was really weird that the World Heavyweight Championship three-way was the very first match.
I heard that it was because those debates were happening that night, and they didn't want to compete. But I mean, if you're either going to watch the pay-per-view, you're going to watch the debate. You're not watching half of the pay-per-view if you're watching it.
Yeah, you're going to. If you're interested in watching them both, you're going to just watch the debates later. You're going to record them and whatever. So yeah, if that's the reason why, I don't know. But it just seemed weird. I was happy AJ Styles won. All hail AJ Styles. I love AJ Styles now.
There's no argument, and anybody can say anything, and they will lose the argument if they have it. But there's no argument that right now that AJ Styles is the best wrestler in the world.
Yeah, he's incredible. I've watched AJ Styles since he was in TNA, and I don't know where these mic skills came from, but he's all of a sudden he's went from either nobody got him a chance on the mic or he couldn't, didn't have right coaching or something, but now he's up there like with Chris Jericho when he comes out on the mic. He is absolutely amazing, and I hope he has a long reign as champion. I mean, I good pickup by WWE. I love AJ Styles, and I'm a huge Kevin Owens mark ever since he came, but
And Kevin Owens is one of the coolest superstars that you will meet in person.
yeah. I'm a huge Kevin Owens mark, and no disrespect to Kevin Owens at all, but I mean AJ Styles, Kevin Owens gives me some of that Stone Cold Steve Austin feeling, but AJ Styles, and no disrespect again to Chris Jericho, but he reminds me of Jericho in his prime, but just a better wrestler.
I just don't see how that would be disrespectful to Chris Jericho.
Well, because Chris Jericho's is best in the world at what he does.
That's true. That's true. Okay, we're gonna just
Well, the only other exciting thing that happened was Luke Harper showed up at the very end with Bray Wyatt and Orton.
we'll get into that. We're really gonna get into that later.
That wasn't shocking. Everybody was expecting it to happen anyways. We were there, and the crowd was just talking about, hey, I think Luke Harper's right over there, kind of thing. I don't know if you could actually see him or what, but I knew that was happening.
Whatever. I'm just gonna say it because I don't know. Everybody's has to be pro women right now, but the girl wrestlers on SmackDown are not good. Sure, Becky Lynch is okay, and I don't care what anybody says. She's okay. Okay, compare Becky Lynch to AJ Styles. Compare Becky Lynch to Kevin Owens. I'm just gonna have a straight open mind and say I'm gonna compare them right across the board. And you know what? It's nowhere near. You can say the same comparison for somebody like Charlotte, and then you maybe. But Becky Lynch isn't even on that level. And everybody else on SmackDown, all the other girls, are much, much farther below her. Even the best of the ones that the indie people like Alexa Bliss. She's not that good. And she's super duper small. Her head doesn't even go over the top rope. So, I think that they have a huge problem there.
What they brought up, they're premature in bringing up some stars, especially this year, from NXT. I mean, that's basically what it is. I don't think Alexa Bliss should have been brought up yet. I don't think she was ready. And you could tell by watching NXT, they're bringing in Mickie James to go against Asuka because they got nobody to wrestle Asuka. Let me see. Nia Jax was called up too soon. This is all my opinion. Carmella was called up too soon. Bayley was fine. Take Bayley. But now that's just the women's superstars. Apollo Crews is another story. They shouldn't have brought him up yet. But they brought up a bunch of divas that weren't ready. So, and then, they're like, well, how are they going to split brands? Because there's not so many divas.
This is exactly where I was going right now.
This could have been the only division where the champion could float to both shows.
It shouldn't have been that. If you don't have enough good girl wrestlers to fill two separate rosters, make it be on one, just like the Cruiserweight division.
Oh, right, yeah.
The women's wrestlers are on Raw, or the women's wrestlers are on SmackDown, because you don't have good enough wrestlers.
Yeah. Okay. That's.
I mean, it's just common sense.
Perfect. Yeah. Would be the easiest solution right there.
And because of this, SmackDown's hurting so much. Listen, they got Nikki Bella. Nikki Bella is not a good wrestler. Don't care what anybody says.
Nope.
Carmella, garbage. She could be good eventually.
She's just not ready.
She's not ready. Well, we have Naomi.
And
Naomi's just
ridiculous.
A joke. Just a joke. Who else? Who else is there? We already talked about Alexa Bliss. Can you even remember? Like, it's so irrelevant that...
Yeah, Natalia, you know, that's so stale that no one even notices when she's out there because you didn't. I just had to bring her up.
Yeah. It's just it's just common sense. Like, what were you thinking?
Yeah.
But nothing else really. The Miz losing that belt, and that match should have also been in the main event.
Well, it was over like it was.
Yeah,
I was pretty amazed with seeing how much the fans were into that match because these are both really stale characters to me. But Miz has started to get really awesome again right after talking smack with Daniel Bryan. He just turned on the mega douche, you know. But but they were into it. They were way behind Ziggler, and Ziggler bores the hell out of me. But that match, they pulled it off. I liked the match.
Do you think that the Miz, because next week on SmackDown, the Miz has a title shot?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he's got any chance?
Yeah, I think he might win it back.
You think?
Yeah.
Well, then the Miz has to wrestle somebody from Raw for the title.
I guess. Yeah.
Hmm.
And we already know who that's going to be. It'll be Sami Zayn.
It really would make more sense to have the Miz wrestle Sami Zayn.
Yep. And bye-bye Ziggler, and Sami Zayn takes Ziggler's spot chasing the Miz.
Well, I think that they would take the belt to Raw.
Oh. Or that. There's been... Oh, you know what? That makes a lot of sense then, because I've been hearing some rumors... backstage rumors that the Miz is coming to Raw.
Well, that'd be cool.
So then that would make perfect sense with the... weren't they doing something with the United States title too? Oh, no. We're talking about how we believe that Roman Reigns would be a lot more relevant and would get a lot more popular if he was on SmackDown instead of Raw.
Well, we call Roman Reigns the guy. That's what we call him.
All right.
I'm going to come back to a specific match here, but let's talk about what happened at Hell in the Cell real fast here. Okay, so we're just going to skip forward to everything, and we're just going to address the giant elephant in the room, the girls' match, Hell in the Cell, first ever Hell in the Cell ever, and how everybody was just dogging it. So, what do you think?
I thought it was a good match for being a female match.
And Charlotte wins and goes over.
Yeah, that was that shocked me. I didn't think that she was going to go over in Sasha's own hometown. That's just wow. But Charlotte has been the best wrestler, in everything. Whole package of a female wrestler has been the best female wrestler I've ever seen in my life. She's going to just keep winning belts, going to be like her dad. And Sasha will get the belt back a few more times. So, but people were saying, how it wasn't a good match and how, they'll never do it again. I don't think they'll ever do it again. I mean, I really don't. I don't think they might have another Hell in a Cell women's match, but it's not going to be in the main event.
The WWE did this to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They put 2 other Hell in the Cell matches on with the first ever women's one.
I mean, you're asking...
What were they thinking?
You're really asking a lot. Charlotte and Sasha, they're good, but they're good to a point. So it's really hard to ask them to put on a better match than Kevin Owens and Rollins, and...
We have to start off this first ever girls Hell in the Cell match. We have to start it off without any other thought, but now we have to compare it to Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins, and then we also have to compare it to Rusev and Roman Reigns right off the bat before the match even happens.
Yep.
In the same pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
After people have already seen 2 other Hell in the Cell matches.
It was kind of set up for failure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my biggest problem, I didn't think... If it was two guys having this match, if it was, I don't know, Roman Reigns having the match with somebody else, and they did the same stuff, people would have thought the match was fine.
Yep.
Except for the people who hate Roman Reigns, and then they would have said it's garbage because Roman Reigns is the one. But I think that they get the shaft because they're girls for that. And secondly, my biggest problem with the match was not anything in the match, the finish, stupid, and don't use tables if you're not heavy enough to go through the table.
Right. And I bet you this is really a lot to do with Stephanie McMahon. I don't know.
The match
But,
would have been way over if they didn't have two other Hell in the Cell matches.
yeah. Yeah, they could have made Roman Reigns. Why didn't they just make Roman Reigns' and Rusev's, just right off the top of my head, like a Russian chain match or
They
something?
could have made it
Yeah,
anything.
anything
and
else.
the title match shouldn't have been a Hell in the Cell match either.
No.
It's just gimmick match murder.
Yeah.
It's just like they're just
Like
gonna.
when TNA does that lethal lockdown where every match is a cage match.
Yeah, see, it's like by the time you get to the last cage match, you've already seen everything that can happen in the cage.
Right.
Or it's like having a match where they have rounds in the match and it goes 15 rounds unless somebody gets a pin. Like, what? That's like some ridiculous shit right there.
Yes.
All right, so we're done talking about that. So, Sheamus and Cesaro versus the New Day. And the New Day wins from disqualification.
Mm-hmm.
So... I don't really.
There's mixed emotions online about Sheamus and Cesaro as a tag team. I like it because WWE's not doing anything with them. They're both talented. They both need to have something to do. I think that they're going to be the one to eventually dethrone New Day. But there's a lot of hate online for Cesaro and Sheamus being together, thinking it's stupid. And I always said to throw them a manager also, give them William Regal or something, and let them dominate and tag team for a little bit.
Here's an anomaly right now. The club goes over in Zone Cass.
Mm-hmm.
Then the next night on Raw, they have to have this ridiculous Halloween match, which was basically an embarrassment.
It wasn't Halloween; they were just in Scotland,
where they had pies and everything and all that, and the finish was we had to put a pumpkin on somebody's head. And
yes, I remember that. Okay,
and
yes.
It didn't fit on his head, but they kept trying.
Yep.
And then Enzo Cass go over.
Okay.
What? And then
just last week, they got over clean on the New Day.
On the New Day.
Yeah, I don't know.
What are they doing with the club? Because I have no idea.
Neither do I.
Oh, by the way, hold on before we move on real fast. This Sasha Banks, Charlotte, our backstage sources tell us that Sasha was supposed to go over, and midway through the match, the ref got the call over their headset that they wanted Charlotte to go over so they can work the undefeated at championship match at pay-per-view angle.
I was wondering why they brought that up just on that pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Okay,
so,
makes sense.
So that apparently happened in the match.
So basically, they're gonna paint us down a path where Charlotte's eventually gonna lose at WrestleMania.
Probably.
Yeah.
So, okay. So the club. What's going on?
I
thought they had backstage heat for a long time, but now I don't know.
I don't really want to waste my time talking about them anymore because I have nothing to say about them. I don't know what's going on with them.
We have to talk about them because they beat the New Day.
Yeah, well, I know.
And nobody beats the New Day.
But I don't have any theories. I don't have any opinions. I haven't heard anything. Why? But yeah, I was pretty shocked that they went over on the New Day because they're getting super buried.
Are the New Day in the Survivor Series match?
Yeah. They're the captains.
So they can't have that match. So next Raw pay-per-view?
Maybe.
Bayley beats Dana Brooke. Does anybody care?
Nope.
Bayley's overrated.
I like that Dana Brooke's starting to wear her NXT clothes again.
Here comes the hate because Bayley's overrated and Dana Brooke's better than Bayley. So we're moving on.
I disagree, but I'm not gonna. I don't want to debate that. That's hard. I don't think I care enough to debate it. That's what it is. It's like, Dana Brooke is fine.
Roman Reigns beats Rusev.
It was a good match. There was two big bruisers going at it in a cage, throwing each other around in cages, off steel and using weapons. It was. If you're looking for a technical AJ Styles type match, you weren't going to find that there. That was just a straight up, just two big brawlers, and it was good. I don't have a problem. I didn't have a problem with that Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, it was a fine match.
Yep.
No problem. Hell in the Cell, Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins. I think that was the match of the night.
Yep. Old Jericho
Yeah.
coming out, getting into the cage.
Yeah, that was a good match.
Yeah, good match.
I think predictable, but good match.
Yep. I was really expecting Jericho to turn on Owens somehow. Do something or somehow get himself in the match too.
They need to give Jericho a belt before WrestleMania.
But no, he just came in, helped old KO, and that was it.
Let's talk about something. Let's talk about Raw real fast. Like, the actual show which just happened. What we have going on here, which I want to correlate the two together, is on Raw, we see Brian Kendrick, new champion. Everybody's furious.
I am. I think it's terrible.
Everybody is. And if you're not, then you're wrong and just turn off the podcast and go away. Mm-hmm. But Brian Kendrick's awful. He's a cancer to the Cruiserweight division. He's slowly killing it. I thought that was the end of it. But then we find out on Smackdown this week that they're going to have a match between Kalisto, Brian Kendrick, for the Cruiserweight title. Now, the thing is if Kalisto wins, the Cruiserweight title and the whole division go to SmackDown.
Yeah, I like that idea, and I really hope Kalisto wins that belt. I mean, I do. That's who I thought should have been in the Cruiserweight tournament anyways. You have Neville, you have Xavier Woods, you already have a bunch of good cruiserweights that you can integrate into the Cruiserweight division. Apollo Crews.
And slowly phase out Brian Kendrick.
Yes.
Because he's not needed there.
No, he's not. I mean, and even with that, people like Roderick Strong and Austin Aries and stuff like that have places to go when they're done with NXT. Because, I love Austin Aries, but when he comes to the main roster, if he's not a cruiserweight, him just standing next to Roman Reigns, he's going to look like a freaking midget.
Yeah.
It's
just like Samoa Joe standing next to Roman Reigns.
Well, we'll see when that happens. I think you're underestimating how big he is.
I don't think he'll ever be at a point where you can take him seriously standing next to Roman Reigns, because Roman Reigns is an actual wrestler, and Samoa Joe is just this big fat fake Samoan wrestler with a make-believe gimmick that he shouldn't have. Anyways,
I'm going on record to say I disagreed with everything he just said, except for the Samoan part. I think that might be accurate, or he might be a big fat Italian guy from New York. Passing himself off as Samoan. Well, they used to do that back in my day anyways, like Chief Jay Strongbow. He was a big fat American Indian wrestler, and he was doing war dancing in the ring and does tomahawk chops and was so over in the... in the Native American community and wrestling community, and then to find out that he's really just a fat Italian guy from New York City. He wasn't even an Indian.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty funny sometimes.
Since we're on the topic of Samoa Joe, how do you think they can go about putting him on the main roster and it working?
First of all, he needs to go SmackDown. My opinion. If this is going to work. Okay, then I would have him, depending if they wanted if they want to push him as a face or a heel. If you want to push him as a face after AJ Styles wins a match at a pay-per-view or something like that, for Samoa Joe to kick his ass after the match would be a face way to do it. Or a heel way to do it would be doing the same thing but to a babyface. That's what I think how you do it to give him a start, and then slowly but surely have him interfere in matches or something like that. Then give him a match and see if it's over with the crowd. And right there, you'll know if they come out and nobody gives a damn.
I think the best way to make a transition with Samoa Joe to the main roster is let's put him on Raw. And let's have him get squashed by Braun Strowman and then fired. Mm-mm. Okay, moving on. I forgot what we were even talking about before we started talking about Samoa Joe.
Yeah, me too.
I think it was something.
We're talking about cruiserweights.
Oh, right. And then you can do the right thing with cruiserweights, like like you said, all the people that should be in the cruiserweight division that are already on the main roster will be in there, and then they'll start to get better.
I think it would be genius too to put Chris Jericho in the cruiserweight division.
I think so too.
He can put over some of these guys pretty well in just a feud or something like that. He'd do it.
Okay, here's something that we need to talk about. We reviewed basically the Hell in the Cell thing. Then we reviewed Raw, and so we're going to talk about SmackDown here for a second. So,
okay.
Is it completely obvious, like 100%, no doubt, that just SmackDown's so much better than Raw right now?
Yeah, it is, and I do think there's two reasons for that.
Well, this is why I think I have some reasons too. This is why I'm bringing it up.
Well, this is why AJ Styles is so amazing, because Raw, their main storylines have, Raw isn't terrible. Their main storylines have Jericho and Owens in it. But SmackDown to me is still a little bit more entertaining because AJ Styles is actually,
I agree,
by a hair, been kind of outdoing Owens and Jericho. I mean, it's just kind of amazing with the heat and stuff that he gets. But, yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why it's better than Raw. And the other reason is I think it's better because it's 2 hours.
Well, let me.
You get to see more matches and less irrelevant replays and bullshit that Raw has.
Let me take over here.
Okay.
I think that Raw is basically only watchable when Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens are on the screen. Like, that's what I think. That's how I feel. Now, I almost feel like that the WWE is purposely making Raw bad. So people will watch SmackDown because that's their new USA show. So they want people to watch that, and then I swear this is gonna be a little bit of my insane predictions, but I think that they're gonna do that. So eventually, at some point, McMahon comes out and says SmackDown's beating you in the ratings and this and that. So you know what, Raw, we're gonna cut away one of your hours. And they're gonna put Raw back to 2 hours.
Conspiracy theory.
So you watch. Mark my words. You heard it here first on the podcast. Watch, because it's happening, because it's so obvious. And this also could be another reason. I feel like if you watch indie wrestling shows like Ring of Honor, Lucha Underground, those shows like that SmackDown has more of that feel of a wrestling show. Where Raw is like, you can see Ashton Kutcher this week.
Yeah, I hate that.
Yeah. So I think that's where this is going. So at some point, McMahon's going to come out, say SmackDown's been beating you, so now you're not the flagship show anymore, so you're 2 hours.
Okay, yeah. They need to make it 2 hours.
Yeah, so. I agree.
So are we talking about Survivor Series now?
Yeah, let's.
Because we could start all the way from Goldberg finally coming back. I don't know. Everyone is talking about it, but it's like their first match wasn't even good, and now they're older. It's like, is it supposed to get better?
Well, Goldberg's not good, so.
Well, and the other thing is, I don't understand how you have all these kids are cheering like they know who the hell he is. It's like, man, when he was popular, you were in like high school.
Yeah.
So they would have what? Kindergarten? Not even born yet. But it's
I might have been in junior high.
Which my point is, which makes it really creepy why he came out and started grabbing kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, we thought he was just going to keep taking them out and follow them, throw them into the van, leave with a bunch of kids.
When he was grabbing the kids, it's like the parents were trying to hold on to the kids,
and the kids were like kind of went into, they're just going to be old rigor mortis out, all stiff, with their eyes big, letting Goldberg steal them from their crying mother's arms.
This match is going to be crap.
Yeah, this is what I'm hoping happens, but it's probably not going to happen. I just hope Lesnar goes out there and fucking destroys Goldberg. Because if Goldberg goes over on Brock Lesnar, then you have that Big Show moment where
we don't want anything to do with Brock Lesnar anymore.
Yeah, and
I can't legitimately believe he's a badass if he loses to Goldberg.
Yeah, it's just it'd be like when Mayweather beat Big Show, You know, it's just
What I want to see, what me personally, what I want to see is I want to see Goldberg come out there, and then Paul Heyman come out and say, "Sorry, Brock Lesnar's not going to be here, so you're wrestling Austin." Austin's music hit. He comes down. Austin stuns him, pins him in 3 seconds, offers him a beer after the match, and stuns him again.
yeah. You know what? I was gonna say, why doesn't WWE just needs to give the fans what they want? They don't want Goldberg and Lesnar. They really have always wanted Stone Cold versus Goldberg. They've always wanted that match. Just make it happen. You know, make that happen. That was the Attitude Era's version of Hulk Hogan versus Ric Flair. You know, it has to happen. Get that to happen, and then by all means, I'm thinking I want WWE to sign Bobby Lashley and have him wrestle Brock Lesnar and also fight Brock Lesnar in the UFC.
That's what I think. I was talking to you about this earlier. I think that
Yeah, I didn't think of that myself.
I think that Bobby Lashley saying that he wanted a match with Brock Lesnar in the UFC. And I think that there's like a big 3-way contract deal going on right
that's
now.
why he dropped the belt to that jobber.
That's why he dropped the belt, the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. Okay, hold on. Let me give you a Bobby Lashley history real fast, everybody, because probably nobody watches TNA that's listening. But Bobby Lashley was all of the champions in TNA. Every single one. He had no competition at all.
Even the women's. No, I'm just playing.
He had no competition at all. Zero. So what he did is he walked out there and dropped all the other belts and says, "Yeah, I don't need this." So he kept the world title, and so they kept booking him as a monster. Then all of a sudden one night they put him up in a match against Eddie Edwards. Oh, who's that? Oh, Eddie Edwards was just some jobber from a jobber tag team. It would be like if Billy Gunn...
American Wolves.
It'd be like if Billy Gunn was wrestling Brock Lesnar for the championship. Yeah, okay, hold on. I'll give you a second. Go ahead, get the laughs out. Okay, so that's happening. And then all of a sudden out of nowhere, clean, no interference, Billy Gunn goes over Brock Lesnar. Boom, no problem.
I'm a nice man.
Okay, so Eddie Edwards goes over. Okay, now your Brock Lesnar or your Bobby Lashley goes into UFC or Bellator because he's scheduled for an MMA fight.
I don't think Lesnar would do Bellator, but
I'm because this is what happened with Lashley. He went to Bellator to have a fight, right? Beats the shit out of the person and wins. Okay, obviously we should put the belt back on Lashley, right? So let's have a rematch. They have the rematch,
so we can maybe even show up to Bellator with the TNA belt,
right?
Because TNA is run by fucking idiots.
So they have the rematch, right? And they still put Eddie Edwards over. So you're champion, Mr. Ass, Billy Gunn. Yeah, that's embarrassing.
I'm a nice man.
And don't go down here in comments or send me emails about how it's not embarrassing. I'm not buying the trolls, and nobody else is. So, anyways, he says that he wants to fight Brock Lesnar in the UFC, and Bobby Lashley's undefeated. So they're going to book that match in UFC. After that match, they're going to book a big, long story in WWE that's going to end at WrestleMania between those two. And even without all that, I would be more excited to see Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley than Goldberg.
I think it's going to happen the opposite. I think they're going to do Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley. If they would do it, they'll do the match at WrestleMania first, and then they would do the fight in UFC. Just to make that even a stipulation to the WWE people that we're going to do this, and, we're going to wrestle WrestleMania, and then we're also going to have a match in UFC. Because it would give UFC more...
Yep, that would definitely be because
a bunch of wrestling fans would buy the UFC event.
And then they would show previews of the UFC thing at WrestleMania. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I can definitely see that. So what do you think about all these Survivor Series matches?
I got to remember who's on everybody's team. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm getting older and having to remember 5 team people who's on who.
But what do you think of just like most of the matches being Survivor Series matches?
Well, when I was a kid, I watched... when I first watched Survivor Series, that's what it was. It was a bunch of 5-on-5 elimination matches. That's just what it was. It didn't actually turn into a normal pay-per-view with actual one-on-one matches or championship matches and stuff until you were probably in elementary school.
If they want to hammer home the Raw versus Smackdown thing at this pay-per-view, they can have some single matches, but they don't need 3 Survivor Series matches.
You know what I think would have been cool? Because if you want to do like, this is just me thinking outside the box. They could, because this 5-on-5 traditional Survivor Series matches, they're cool. You know, they're okay. But
cool for-
I think it's time for an upgrade though. Make Survivor Series every year the one pay-per-view where a SmackDown champion or a Raw champion has to defend the title against somebody from the other show. Just put, just one time a year, and belts can change. Like for instance, you can have like AJ Styles against, I don't know, Jericho.
They're doing that too. With the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah, I know they're doing it with that. They should do that with all the belts.
All of them?
All of them.
Oh. Yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
All of them. I mean, Charlotte, even with the ladies, Charlotte defends somebody on the other show.
Well, I would tell you this right now. I'd be
tag team. It would give fresh pushes every year and stuff like that. I think it'd be an awesome idea to do.
I would be way more excited for the pay-per-view if that was the case.
Yeah, because then you can have a bunch of segments before the show, on SmackDown and Raw, where you have the general managers going, "You better not lose that title to that other show, or I'm going to bury you."
Oh yeah. Oh. So it doesn't really matter who wins any of these Survivor Series matches.
Well, don't they have a stipulation? Yeah, on the main one you were telling me, right? I thought you said there was a stipulation, something about if Shane McMahon's team loses, something happens, or
No, I don't think so.
never mind.
Yeah, I just think they want to win because it's cool. The only stipulation is the Cruiserweight one and the Intercontinental. We already went over that, and then Brock Lesnar and Goldberg is just going to be just straight to the dumpster, just the worst.
Just enjoy the nostalgia, but don't expect a lot,
It's just going to be totally awful.
Why does Goldberg keep wearing those huge jackets and sweating all over the place?
I don't know, but it's pretty gross.
Well, I'm just like, he looks like he's in good shape, but I mean, is he not? I'm taking it he must be a lot smaller now. That's why he has the jacket on.
Dude, just take it off. Like, what's your deal? Why do you have to hold on to it forever? Okay, so I can't believe Brian Kendrick. Who made that call? Who made the call that Brian Kendrick was going to go over? Oh my God, we forgot to talk about that James Ellsworth guy.
Oh yeah. How can we forget about this? This guy's the luckiest wrestler of all time.
Dude, how awesome, by the way, is this Ambrose and AJ Styles feud?
Oh, they're perfect.
Oh,
they're perfect.
It's freaking amazing.
Yes, it is.
James Ellsworth helps Dean Ambrose win a match.
He's gonna get to sell when he's done with this. Gonna get to sell so much merch on independent shows. He's gonna be so over.
Dude,
He is.
He already has his own shirt. I bet you he sold a ton. It's crazy. Okay, and I just spilled coffee on my shirt, so that just happened.
All right.
Well, okay, so you see SmackDown this week?
Yeah, I saw most of it.
Okay, so we have Baron Corbin out there looking strong as hell. He goes backstage, gets in Shane's face, says, I'm not gonna be in this match you booked me for. You need me more than I need you, blah, 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 all this. And it made him look like a monster. He comes out there, crushes Kalisto. Oh, my God, what a great push. I haven't been behind Corbin this much in a long, long time. And then we have him slip, and I'm putting air quotes, slip on the ring apron and hurt his knee.
I think it's all good for Corbin. Corbin's going to be a really big star. He really is. I don't know what they're doing right now. They're trying to probably find some way to make Kalisto look a little bit good before he gets that belt off Kendrick.
What are you doing, though? You built up this monster heat. Oh, my God. That's the best I've seen him since he's been on SmackDown, and they just killed it like that.
Why, by having him injured and him going to be replaced by Shane McMahon?
Yeah, just him being injured.
Don't be surprised if during the Survivor Series, I think it's a little storyline setup, if Shane McMahon doesn't get eliminated because Baron Corbin comes out and lays hands on Shane McMahon.
Oh, maybe.
I think they're going to. I don't think they're going to destroy Baron Corbin. I think they really like Baron Corbin. But if they don't do anything with them and whatever, they're bad because they need to.
That's not what I mean, that they're going to destroy him. They built so much heat that night that was awesome, and they killed all that heat in one night.
Yeah, they did. They they should have had him against someone else other than Kalisto, and then just had him like
Yeah.
beat him up with the chair until he gets kicked off the team or something like that.
Have Kalisto go over on Kane. Who gives a crap?
Yep.
Yeah. It's just like, what? Okay, so what do you think of Shane McMahon being the last guy? And how dare you, Daniel Bryan? Everybody loves you so much, and you tease that it's going to be you. You're the worst.
You're a dick.
But you're still awesome. Continue.
I think it's fine. It'll be something for me to watch, you know. I do think something's going to happen that's going to become a storyline for WrestleMania for Shane. You know, so who knows?
Who do you think? You think Shane versus Foley? Because I don't want to see that match.
Probably Shane versus Corbin.
Oh, Corbin. Maybe. I hate how they killed that heat right there.
Mm-hmm.
They should have just left Corbin in. And even if they wanted Shane to be in the match, whatever, Corbin could have had his match where he crushed somebody, comes back to Shane, and because Shane made him have that match right there, and been like, oh, I hurt myself in the match. I can't compete at Survivor Series.
That actually would have been better.
Right. It would have been way better.
Uh-huh.
It would have saved all of his heat. Everything would have been fine. And how they chose to go about it is ridiculously stupid. Because that's what I feel. But I feel like Shane McMahon could have an exciting match.
No, yeah, he always does. He doesn't have to put his body up on the line every night.
Yeah.
That's why he can act like an idiot, you know, and do all these things where he does. So, you know, if Shane McMahon's in the match, some pretty crazy stuff's going to happen. So, but I do think I am smelling a Baron Corbin, Shane McMahon feud. I don't know why. I just am.
I feel like Baron Corbin should have a belt on him.
He will. But I mean, who would you? Yeah, I wish you'd take it off Ziggler. That'd be cool. But
Cruiserweight champion.
But, I mean, other than that, I mean, are you gonna? They're not gonna put over Reigns or Owens or AJ Styles, you know, right now.
He could be a good Intercontinental. If you're not going to give it to The Miz, I'd rather have The Miz, but...
Yeah, Miz has been good lately with that belt.
They are suffering with a feud with Baron Corbin, and I think that the Shane McMahon-Corbin feud is probably going to happen.
Yeah, and that would really boost Corbin, too.
Yeah.
Hard-fought match and Corbin go over.
All right, so we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk some more about the Indies. We're going to talk a little bit still about WWE. We're going to book some fantasy matches to see what you guys think. And if you want to get in and tell us what you think with fantasy matches, or you have any comments, you have any requests of what we want to talk about, you can email the podcast at fwlpodcast@gmail.com. That's fwlpodcast@gmail.com, no spaces. So we'll be right back. You already heard me at the beginning of the show. Everybody needs to stop what they're doing, pause the podcast. In fact, you don't even have to pause it. Just leave your headphones in, listen to the podcast, go to sleepnumber.com, use the offer code FWLPodcast, get 10% off your mattress. You're going to love it. And we're back. Wow, to be really honest with you, the mattress that I got from Sleep Number really helped my back. And you really help the show out if you use our offer code and bought a mattress. That's all.
Yes.
We're going to talk a little bit more about the Indies. We'll still talk about some... We're not going to talk about like results from the Indies because like nobody knows any of that crap and nobody cares.
Yeah, because I don't know a lot about the Indies. I depend on a handful of people who know about the Indies. What am I talking about? A handful of people. I just depend on you to tell me about the Indies. Yeah, so I don't know. That was a bunch of bullshit I just said. And you pretty much get your news from Anthony, right? No?
I get my news from watching.
Oh, you do? Oh, okay.
So I have to watch all this stuff. But let's talk about Ring of Honor.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Sullivan, thank God, is I think gone now. Like, that's an embarrassment of a storyline.
It was. It seems like everyone's trying to pull off broken Matt Hardy, Brother Nero kind of thing, and that's what they're
Yeah.
doing with that. And everyone's fails. They can't. Everyone could smell the ripoff and broken Matt Hardy.
Oh my god!
It's his gimmick.
I even saved this, and I forgot to say it in the first part of this show.
Okay.
So, at the pay-per-view in No Mercy,
Mm-hmm.
Bray Wyatt goes over Randy Orton. They keep
surprised
feuding.
me.
Fast forward, fast forward, fast forward, fast forward. Now Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper and Randy Orton are the Wyatt family. And Randy Orton has magical powers.
Yeah. You know what? Only thing I got to say about this is this feud is totally not leading into Randy Orton just RKOing them both and turning on them.
Oh yeah, I don't see that coming at all. That's
Yeah.
definitely not going to happen. But I want to know what you think about the glowing eyes. And he can't respond right away because he's drinking a soda.
I think it's terrible. I think it's embarrassing. I think it's funny. When I watched it, my wife walks through the door to see that, and it's like, what the hell kind of shit are you watching?
So in other words,
it embarrasses you to.
so in
be a
other
wrestling
words,
fan?
back in your day, you didn't have none of this video special effects stuff.
Nope.
We need to make wrestling great again.
Yes.
But the All Night Express is already doing that. Your ROH.
You know what? You could say about ROH and them trying to do the Make America Great Again. I never saw anybody do the Donald Trump kind of push, gimmick thing. Except Brian Cage was the first one I saw do it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, everyone else started copying after that. I guess if you want to count Jack Swagger, but he never really came out that way.
Brian Cage is your Lucha Underground star and also your AAA, the Mexican Federation of. They're basically WWE in Mexico, and he's their top heel down there. He just wrestled in their WrestleMania, so that's who Brian Cage is. But yeah, they hate him down there for the Trump stuff.
Yeah. But anyway, okay.
To talk about something that's very serious. It just happened,
Okay.
The world is in an argument right now over one thing that happened in America. So let me ask you, do you think that they killed the broken Matt Hardy gimmick?
God, they better not have. But TNA are idiots, dude. You were just talking about what they did with Bobby Lashley. Same thing. If they do that, if they kill the broken Matt Hardy character, again, you're just messing up the best thing about your show.
So on Impact, is it the KRD? Is that their name?
No, I don't know what the hell their name is. KRD was in Ring of Honor.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Confused. Anyways, those masked guys in TNA are having a match. They go backstage, and then Matt Hardy falls off the ladder and then bumps his head, and then he wakes up, and it seems like he's just normal Matt Hardy again. Because that's basically how he turned into broken Matt Hardy. The world is talking about TNA just because of this, and I think they're going to kill it.
It'd be stupid if they do.
Why? Why would they do it? Who's in charge over there? I want to meet that person and just punch him in the face.
Yeah, it's whoever it is. The person is really, really, really retarded. I don't know what else to say. It's almost like they're trying to fail, and they keep getting bailed out. It's like, let us bury this company. But I don't know.
That company amazes me. They have such good gimmicks. They have this guy named Eli Drake. I think he's amazing. His talk show's great. Dummy, yeah.
His talking style and promos and stuff remind me a lot of Steve Austin before he was Stone Cold. Yeah, he's dummy.
Yeah. Eli Drake is great. You're gonna see him in NXT really soon. They have their Team Decay. I would say you're going to see them in NXT soon, but, well, they already stole their gimmick.
Yeah, Eric Young. They already gave that gimmick to Eric Young. What are they called again?
Sanity.
Sanity, that's right.
And Decay are the same thing, except Decay is way cooler than Sanity.
Yeah, but Sanity's going to be way more relevant just because they're in the WWE.
It's true. It's true. You can't argue that. It's just whoever's in charge in TNA over there is just making these boneheaded decisions. We have Damian Sandow in TNA, or Alan Rex, whatever his name is over there.
Who gives a shit?
Exactly. I liked him, and I know everybody's getting all mad holding us. Just hold on. I liked him for a while. Okay?
WWE ruined him, and he's just done. He can't come back from it.
It made him such a big jobber that I can't see him and believe that he's a threat.
Yeah.
They jobbed him so much. What do you expect?
I just wonder what happened. He had to have done something, or had some kind of heat, because the guy was pretty good in the ring. His character, he had a great character. He's great on the mic. He got a good crowd reaction. They gave him money in the bank, but had him jobbed. And even when they put him with The Miz, he was being a ridiculous stunt double, he was over. But I don't know what happened. They still just jobbed him. So, but because of that, sorry to say, I just don't take him seriously anymore. WWE brainwashed me into not taking him seriously anymore.
When somebody's that big of a jobber, you can't take him seriously. I'm sorry. It doesn't matter. They could be that big of a jobber in Ring of Honor, then you can't take him seriously anywhere.
Yeah, I know.
What they jobbed him so hard. Yeah.
Cheeseburger versus Lesnar, WrestleMania.
Talking about Cheeseburger.
Okay.
We were talking earlier about Kevin Owens. What does he need to start to do? You need to lay it out on the table right now.
Dude, Kevin Owens, every time they're doing an interview or something backstage, they need to have some footage every so often of Kevin Owens, somebody eating something, and Kevin Owens walking up and talking to him and picking at their food too. Eating also.
At the very end of it, just ended up taking it and telling them good luck.
Or just straight up robs the person for the food. I think that'd be cool.
I think he also needs to start having food stains on the belt. Like, that needs to be happening.
You have a promo with him dipping ketchup from his French fries, and the ketchup's on his belt.
Yeah, the ketchup. Yep. No, he's eating it, and the ketchup falls on his belt, and he looks at the belt like, well, the belt's red already.
Yeah, it's already red.
Anybody's going to notice. All right, since this is the fantasy wrestling podcast, let's talk about some fantasy matches, and we're going to do... You don't know enough about Lucha Underground, huh?
No.
So let's do Ring of Honor versus TNA versus WWE. And let's do what matches we would want to see. Let's start off with the New Day in WWE. Who you want to put them up against?
The New Day? Young Bucks?
Oh, no doubt. Young Bucks. Young Bucks definitely from ROH, yes.
They'll have good. They'd have good promos beforehand. They've been going at each other. They're not even the same federation.
Okay.
Already.
Wrap your mind around this. This is old school mentality. New Day's out there, just cutting a promo, doing whatever, just doing their thing, and then cutting a long promo, and then they've just been beating everybody, and then just all of a sudden, boom, the Young Bucks music hits. Their music from the Indies. They come out with their Japanese title belts on the stage right there. They go in there. They don't work any mic, and they just take New Day to they give New Day super kick party. How would you feel about that if you were watching that live?
It'd be way over. I'd mark out.
I would mark out hard.
Okay. Next one.
Like that's what I want.
Yep.
All right, let's do ROH champion Adam Cole versus who?
Let me think about it.
I mean, don't forget that you can pick from TNA.
Yeah.
You can pick from WWE.
Adam Cole.
And we're just for the sake of the match, we're going to say that Adam Cole is a heel.
Mm-hmm.
So he will be a heel. And he's going to have some of his Bullet Club people out. Adam Cole, while you think, let me explain. Okay. Adam Cole is a member of the Bullet Club. That's basically the NWO, and it's from New Japan. They have multiple versions of this Bullet Club, and they have an ROH version, and Adam Cole is the leader in ROH. So he has a lot of people that'll get his back.
I don't know. Who would you like to see? Let me still think about it a little bit.
Well, I almost just want to pick somebody from TNA because I don't know what the size comparison would be like if I picked somebody from WWE. And I know you might just think it's a jobber of me, but I would want to see Adam Cole versus DJZ. Because DJZ is a babyface. And he has backup also.
Yeah, I guess if I had to pick right now, it might change though. Let's do Adam Cole, AJ Styles.
Oh man,
because you can do the Bullet Club thing for him too.
You say that to me. You say Adam Cole versus AJ Styles,
and I think not even in his league.
There's not. Yeah, it's not even close to his league, and it's not even. It wouldn't even be believable to me that Adam Cole can go over AJ.
Let's go. Let's go to the next one then.
And for the record, if you don't know, DJZ is Zema Ion, so they just call him DJZ now.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go over to TNA.
Okay.
And let's pick their champion.
Oh, there you go. Eddie Edwards versus Adam Cole. There you go.
I really wouldn't think that Eddie Edwards had a chance, but...
There you go. That's what I would do.
You would do that?
Yeah, because I'd rather have Adam Cole just bury Eddie Edwards than get buried by somebody in the WWE.
I would pick...
Because I like Adam Cole.
I would pick DJZ for Adam Cole.
Okay.
I'd put Adam Cole over.
Okay.
But I think that'd be a much, much better match.
All right.
And I don't know who cares with Eddie Edwards. I mean, God, he sucks so much. I'm not gonna buy it. Let's just skip him. I don't want to even see him on the card. Let's go next. Let's go a fatal 4-way match.
Okay.
In one corner, we have Michael Elgin.
Okay.
Who is television champion and a Ring of Honor.
Uh-huh.
In the other corner, we have Dolph Ziggler.
Okay.
In this corner over here, we have Roman Reigns.
Okay.
And in this corner over here, let's just go over to... I'm just going to go over to New Japan. We have Kenny Omega.
Okay.
Who wins that match?
Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns, no doubt.
Roman Reigns. Just clean house with them.
Just cleans house, jobs, everyone.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Ends with a spear on somebody.
I don't know about that.
Roman Reigns is huge compared to those guys. I mean, Elgin's the biggest one out of them, and he looks like a little ball of roids right now, but still.
He is pretty buff. So it's just Roman Reigns. Triple Superman punch, spear.
Superman punch party.
Pins them all. Okay.
Done.
You heard it here first.
Huh?
I say that Roman goes over too.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
I agree with that. Okay, AJ Styles versus somebody.
Honestly, it's already happened before, though, but just not in WWE. AJ Styles versus Nakamura.
That's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
But let me think if I
can
think of somebody else.
You gotta pick a different promotion.
Well, I have to pick a different promotion. Who would AJ Styles go up against?
Yeah, that's a tough question right there, huh?
Yeah, because everybody who I'm thinking that I would want to see against AJ has already happened.
Yeah.
So, God, could see I was about ready just to go to Jericho, but he had a segment with Jericho, and he's not even in the, same.
Let's go over to Lucha Libre and let's go to New Japan too, because there's nobody in TNA or Ring of Honor that's even in his league, like not even close.
Yeah, that's hard.
You got from Lucha, you got Matanza. You have Mil Muertes, Pentagon. New Japan, you got the Rainmaker. You don't think Kenny Omega's as good as I think he is, but you got him. He's going to be wrestling the Rainmaker at their WrestleMania.
Okay, I got who I want.
Who?
He's in none of the other divisions, though, that you said. I want AJ Styles to destroy CM Punk.
Oh man, what a match! That's match of the night. That's match of the night. AJ Styles versus CM Punk for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Book it, put it through.
Yep.
Who goes over? You said
AJ Styles.
AJ goes over, definitely. Clean, makes him tap out.
Gets the broom out, sweeps CM Punk out the door since he quit and really lost like an embarrassing jobber at UFC and embarrassed the entire wrestling community. Is why.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So there's that. I think we pretty much recapped everything that there is to recap.
Yep. I think so too.
Yep. So we will be back this time because everything's fixed. All of our equipments are fixed, and we have our sponsor going. And don't forget to check out the Sleep Mattress Bed. It's really awesome, and it'll help the podcast out way more. If we get more production money, we can do more shows. So, all right. Thank you, and as always, everybody's jobbers.
I'm an ass man.
Yeah, they did that. Ass man.